Joining us here on this Friday at noon, I'm Brooke Hash. Our top story today, a Jefferson County high school teacher is under federal investigation, accused in multiple child sex abuse charges. 51-year-old Brian Hines, a theater teacher at DuPont Manual High School's Youth Performing Arts School, is accused of distributing child sexual abuse material to a law enforcement officer working online undercover. Police say Hines admitted Thursday to both sending and receiving material through online messaging applications. Police have not identified any victim that is a current or former student at Manual High. Parents, of course, will be notified if that changes. Hines is expected in court today. If convicted, he faces anywhere from 5 to 40 years in prison. Ronald Exantis will be back in the Commonwealth soon, just days after he was sent to Florida on supervised release. Arrested there yesterday. Now, in 2015, Exantis was charged with killing 6-year-old Logan Tipton and attacking 2 other members of his family in Versailles, Kentucky. A jury found him not guilty of murder by reason of insanity. They did find him, however, guilty of assault in the attack of the rest of his family. Exantis was placed on supervised release last week after serving 7 years out of his 20-year sentence based off of a Kentucky law. The Marion County Sheriff today, though, saying Exantis failed to register as a convicted felon in his state while staying at a family home. This is body camera video, new here at noon, of officers arresting him in the driveway of that home Thursday evening. Failing to register is a misdemeanor charge in Florida, but that will result in a felony parole violation here.
And the outrage that we've seen from this nationally, I think stems from a few things. It stems from the seemingly loss of common sense in a judicial system in some places to turn somebody like this back out into the public. It's also a willful disregard of the will and the desire of we the people. I know I can speak for we the people here in Florida do not want this type of person out on our streets, around our children. And I think I can speak for the we the people in Kentucky when I say they don't want that either.
Exantis is being held with no bond, awaiting extradition to Kentucky. About 12:02 here on your Friday. You've got to get out today if you haven't yet. It's beautiful out there, Matt Breland.
It is perfect out here, Brooke. Yeah, I've got fall fever is what you could call it right now. Like this day, really shaping up to be perfect for us. Temperatures in that mild range right now, in between the upper 50s and the lower 60s. And on satellite and radar, we continue to stay quiet and dry right now. You'll notice over towards our northwest, we're seeing a few clouds developing and passing through the Ohio Valley. We are going to see those arrive as we head later on into our evening, but we will continue to stay dry across Kentuckiana throughout the later hours of the day. Beautiful start to our afternoon. This view is brought to us by the Shriners Children's Hospital in Lexington. Temperatures right at 61 degrees in the Louisville Metro. Over towards Bowman Field, 61 degrees. Plenty of sunshine, calm winds, shaping up for a perfect afternoon. This pattern is going to continue throughout the rest of our day. By 5 p.m., that's whenever a few of those passing clouds will be arriving with us. Into the night, they'll be sticking around. We'll start Saturday morning off with partly cloudy skies and temperatures into the upper 40s, and then we're going to warm back up into the mid 70s just as we go later on into our Saturday afternoon. Really shaping up to be just such a perfect weekend. If you're planning on headed out to the Harvest Homecoming in New Albany, here's a look at your forecast. Plenty of sunshine for Saturday and Sunday, with the exception of just a few of those passing clouds for the first hours of Saturday, but by the later Saturday afternoon hours, they will begin to break apart. We'll see temperatures in the mid 70s by Sunday, and we're going to continue staying in a sunny pattern like this as we head into the next upcoming work week. But I am tracking some returning rain chances, but not until we head later on into the next upcoming days. So here's a look at your breakdown across all of Kentuckiana for the afternoon. Temperatures will be staying in the lower 70s, lots of sunshine and plenty of nice conditions. I'm going to have a full breakdown all about what you can expect for the next upcoming days coming up here in just a few short minutes. Brooke?
Taking this oath, it's not a commitment. It's not a moment for celebration alone. It's a public promise. The office I hold does not belong to me. It belongs to the people. It's good to be back home.
A new sheriff in town. David James right there and Steve Healy were just sworn in earlier today as the new the Jefferson County Sheriff and Deputy Sheriff. This comes after the passing of longtime Sheriff John Aubrey. James outlined his main focuses, which centered around 3 key pillars. He said public safety, service, and stewardship. It also includes more investment to training and improve officer wellness and a plan to establish a transparency dashboard for the public to see how the department is doing and where it can improve. Healy and James have worked together for over 25 years now, serving within the LMPD. In the next hour, U of L President Jerry Bradley will officially be inaugurated as the university's 20th president. It's happening at 1 o'clock at L&N Stadium with a reception to follow at Angels Envy Bourbon Club. Bradley's nomination as president was approved back in March by the Board of Trustees following the sudden departure of his predecessor, Dr. Kim Schatzel. Former Louisville police detective Brett Hankison is now serving his nearly 30-year-long sentence at FCI, that's Fort Dix in New Jersey. He was convicted of violating Breonna Taylor's civil rights back in 2020 for his role the night Metro Police shot and killed Taylor. Once he completes his 33-month sentence, he will serve 3 years of supervised release. Separately, CNN and ABC 7 in New York are reporting tonight that rapper Sean Diddy Combs has also asked to serve time at the same place for his recent conviction on 2 prostitution-related charges. A ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is now in effect, and Israel has pulled out its troops this morning. The U.S. is also sending in troops to monitor that ceasefire. The clock now ticking on the window for Hamas to release hostages. ABC's Marcus Moore is in Tel Aviv with the latest.
In Gaza today, tens of thousands of Palestinians streaming north, displaced in their own land, returning to what is left of their homes in this 2-year war. The Israeli military announced this morning its troops officially withdrew to the agreed-upon deployment lines as part of the ceasefire deal with Hamas. There were joyous celebrations in Israel after the Israeli government approved Phase 1 of the ceasefire agreement.
I am beyond grateful that America has been a strong ally of Israel.
Under the terms of Phase 1, Hamas will release 20 of the living hostages early next week, and ultimately the remains of 28 others who have died. In return, Israel has agreed to release more than 1,000 Palestinian prisoners. The Trump administration says the 72-hour window to release the hostages is now ticking. 200 U.S. troops now headed to Israel to monitor the ceasefire, working with other international forces, though officials stress the U.S. troops will not go into Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressing the nation this morning, saying Israel is celebrating, quote, enormous achievements and the return of all of our abductees. President Trump's 20-point plan had called for Hamas to disarm and for Gaza to be governed by, quote, an apolitical Palestinian committee, overseen by an international board of peace with Trump as its chairman.
But what is Phase 2? When does it begin?
I'm not going to talk about that because you sort of know what Phase 2 is, but there will be disarming, there will be pullbacks, there will be a lot of things that are happening.
Marcus Moore, ABC News, Tel Aviv.
And as part of this first phase of the ceasefire agreement, desperately needed humanitarian aid will now be allowed into Gaza, but it's still unclear when that aid will begin arriving.